Well, we got out to see Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom last night, and I have to say, not the best outing for DC. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the movie, what we liked, what we didn't like, and why it's kind of sad the DCU ends with such a whimper. Now, before we do this though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We like to do daily Marvel and DC videos, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are really in the know. Well, the final entry in the DCEU has arrived with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It has been a really rough year for DC films, with pretty much everything missing the mark at the box office, despite there being some gems within these films. Now, this weekend we see Aquaman return after 5 years, finally getting into the Lost Kingdom, and a new adventure seeing him face off with Black Manta. Now, I had the opportunity to see the film yesterday, and honestly guys, there was some great stuff in this movie, but there was probably more that really didn't work. The movie itself seemed to suffer from some problems that we've seen with DC films all year, and although some of the chemistry on screen was pretty good, none of it really got over the hump and made the movie on par with the original film. Now, some of the things that did work on screen for sure were Jason Momoa's Aquaman and Patrick Wilson's Ocean Master teaming up to take on Black Manta. Yahya Abdul-Mateen brought him to life in a way, and he was truly sinister, and these elements of the movie worked really good. The brotherly love and, well, tension was palatable between Wilson and Momoa, and honestly, if there was something that could go on moving forward in this universe, well, that would have been a highlight, and I'm really sort of sad to see that we got to see this here, but we're never probably going to see it again. Now, when we get into what didn't work, well, that's a bit of a laundry list. First and foremost, the plot was, well, convoluted. It felt like throughout the film we were seeing multiple versions of the project as it was being revised, and since we know there was a ton of reshoots, I think that's exactly what happened. It felt like the film sort of continuously introduced new plot elements and sort of stretched itself and the story thinner and thinner as we got through the film. It was also pretty clear that some actors, well, specifically Amber Heard, had been pretty much sidelined. Without getting into spoiler territory, the actress was not a big part of the movie, although her presence was more felt than it was in the trailers, where they clearly hid the actress. And sadly, amongst the supporting cast, she probably gave the best performance, and that's not a compliment. I really felt like Nicole Kidman and Dolph Lundgren's characters on screen were super flat, and really brought almost no weight to the story. These are all quality actors, and their presence should have been felt on screen, and sadly, I don't think James Wan captured it. Now, one other area the movie did struggle was the CGI. Now, we had some excellent shots, and some of it really worked, but you could tell this movie was worked on really to the last minute, and at the end, they were done spending money. There were multiple occasions that the CGI was actually so bad it took you out of the film, and the people that I saw the film with were actually laughing out loud. This is a terrible sign for a film like this, and one that leans so heavily into the CGI work. Obviously, creating an underwater environment is super difficult on film, and you gotta give the filmmakers credit for what they did, but often these shots felt, well, rushed, somewhat like The Flash, although not that bad, but they definitely took many fans out of the film. One final thing that bothered me with the film greatly was the ending. Now, I won't reveal the ending because I don't want to spoil it for you, but I will say what goes down really required the other characters of the DCU to at least make their presence felt. There's a big international event at the end of the film, and that event should have seen Aquaman accompanied by his fellow Justice League members. This was a weird absence in the movie, and probably reflective of what's going on behind the scenes, but not having Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Cyborg, and Batman at this event, well, made it feel awfully weird, kind of forced, and then the way Momoa closed it all out made me kind of shake my head. Now, I never miss DC films, and honestly, I was never going to not see this one. But this was not the best DC outing ever. It's definitely not the worst. There are a couple projects that really fall below this, but it wasn't James Wan's best work by far. It was clearly something the studio was not backing anymore, and it was a weird ending to the whole franchise. I'll give the movie overall a 5 out of 10. It's not one I'm going to go back and see again, but hopefully you find a way to enjoy it.